What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day. Sorry about the lighting in here, but this damn is cloudy today, so the lighting is a little jacked up thanks to the clouds because it looked like it's about to rain again. Um, this weather has been a little nuts. Like 1 minute it's hot as hell, it's sunny. Next minute it's raining and cloudy and cold as shit. I don't know. Mother Nature need to get her shit together. I don't know. Because all I swear, this weather, I swear to God, weather is really like a woman who is on menopause. 1 minute, some of y'all women, who are of age, then you would know if you've been through menopause that, I've heard about it, that you get hot, you get cold, and even when it's cold, you feel hot. Like I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know. It's like this weather is just nuts. But it need to get its shit together. But anyway, getting into this episode, Carly. Carly, I'm sorry. I have to say this, and I'm sorry. And I know some people are probably gonna come in the comments saying, "Oh, you're a Sonny hater." I'm not a Sonny hater, but I'm just saying what I feel. It's time to pull the trigger on this divorce. I'm just saying it's time to file these papers. I because here this is why I say this. At first, I thought Carly and Sonny, they had some type of plan. I thought they had, they were in cahoots. But after everything I'm seeing, it just seems like Sonny still doubts her innocence. The way I'm seeing it, it's like he tried to get Nell to lie on the stand. He's sitting there telling Carly, "Oh, you got to plead insanity so that way you can go to Ferncliff or Shady Brook, whatever." I heard that they were gonna send her to Ferncliff instead of Shady Brook. First of all, Ferncliff is a step up from Shady Brook. That means that you're Heather Weber crazy. And I seen a spoiler. I said, but why the hell would they send Carly to Ferncliff instead of Shady Brook? Ferncliff is where nutsos like Heather Weber go, because that's really crazy. Shady Brook is a step down from that. That's the less crazy. I'm like, why would they send her there? Oh, I don't know. But that's just a rumor that I heard. I don't know if it's true, but we shall see. And Carly sitting there telling Sonny, "Oh, I trust you." Really? You trust someone who don't even believe you? I mean, look at the way he was talking to Jason the other day. Jason was getting irritated with Sonny and Diane because they just kept on saying, "Oh, well, we can't prove her innocence." They basically want her to plead guilty. I'm like, hell no. Jason and Michael are like the only ones who believe her innocence. But you want to know what's funny? And it was something that was a little confusing to me today because Michael, after Nell told him that she has to testify against Carly. And she said that she's not gonna lie. She's gonna go on the stand and tell the truth that Carly tried to kill their baby. Michael, after Nell walked away, Michael called Spinelli and said it's time to make our move to prove my mother's innocence. That's what confused me because Jason and Spinelli are working together also. I don't think Jason knows that Michael's working with Spinelli too, but I know Jason and Spinelli are working together. Jason told Sonny he hasn't found proof yet. He hasn't found anything. But Michael told Spinelli, let's make our move. When you say let's make our move, that means that you have something. You have some ammunition. He pretty much implied they have ammunition. Why else would you say let's make our move against Nell? If you didn't have anything, if him and Spinelli didn't have nothing, he wouldn't have said that. But he specifically said, let's make our move. So is it possible that Michael and Spinelli know something that they're not telling Jason yet? I don't know. That's the way it sounded to me. Like they know something that they ain't saying. I love how Michael is playing this so close to the vest. Like I freaking love it. He is showing that quarter main side because this is so typical Edward and all them. Like when they got some dirt, they play that shit so close to the vest that they don't reveal it until it's time to reveal it. Because I remember back in 2011, remember when Tracy was being blackmailed by Anthony Zakar to marry him? And because he had the dirt that she stole money from Gino Solito after he died and used that dirty money to launder it through ELQ, to finance ELQ with it, she asked Edward for help. And she tried to tell him about it, and Edward laughed at her because he already knew about it. Because he knew about it, and that's why he moved some of ELQ's assets to protect the company. and he told her he wasn't gonna help her. See, that's a Edward Quartermain move that Michael pulled, knowing something, but yet you keep everything close to the vest. That's how you play the game. When you're going up against an enemy, that's how you play it. I've watched so many primetime dramas and daytime dramas where you have to be like a person. I watched so many guys like Stefano Demira and J.R. Ewing, and even people like Helena Cassadine. They're so smooth with it that when they're going up against their enemies, they play everything close to the vest. They don't tell you shit until it's time to tell you. When they know it ain't nothing that you can do about it. That's when they drop the hammer on you. I love the way that I think they need to make Michael more like this type of character. You know what I mean? Because for a while now, a lot of us thought that Michael was naive. He was falling into her trap. But boy, did he have a surprise for our asses. He actually never did trust this witch. And he's playing it so well that he got her thinking that, oh, she got me, we together. She's so delusional that she can't see the truth that he's playing her because he's giving her what she wants. And that's basically his loyalty. But he's pretending. And I like it. This is the Michael I want to see from now on. I'm just saying, like, this is. Cause I'm like, I never like how they dumb down characters just for a plot. Like, you know what I mean? I love it. I freaking love it. Smart move, and I can't wait. I hope he got some ammunition. I'm just saying, I hope so because we need to get this thing done. Nell need to go down, and he need to get full custody of that baby. I'm just saying. So now on to Julian and Kim. I don't know what the writers are doing with Julian and Kim. I mean, I could understand Julian apologizing to Kim because he ran out on her at the nurse's ball and she was his date. Because remember, he ran out to go check on Alexis. I could understand him apologizing to her for that because they were there together and he just basically bailed on her to check on his ex-wife. But it kind of irritated me how Kim said, "Oh, I'll give you a second chance." Why do he need a second chance with you? You knew he had feelings still for Alexis when y'all got involved. He knew you still had feelings for Drew when y'all got involved. Mind you, Kim is running around playing house with Drew, sitting there inviting him to little family dinners and stuff like that, trying to have little family outings with him, her, and Oscar. Like, but yet you think Julian owes you some type of apology and second chances. I'm like, but you knew all of this going in, so it's not like you were blind to it. You knew this. He made it perfectly clear, just like you made your feelings for Drew perfectly clear. I'm starting to lose interest in so many of these couples. It's just the way that they're being written. It's like, I liked them in the beginning because with Drew, I mean with Kim and Julian, they knew what they were getting into when they got into it. Both of them knew that they had feelings for other people. They knew that about each other. And they kept it strictly casual. You know what I'm saying? But now it just seems like, where are we going with this? You know what I mean? Because it's dragging on too long. It's like we need to establish these relationships, figure out who gonna be with who, and what we gonna do. So anyway, I honestly don't blame Robin for feeling the way she feel about her mother right now. Like, she still love her mother, she still respects her mother, but she's disappointed because she feels like everything in the last 20, 30 years, well, hell, her whole life, she just felt like everything was a lie now. That's how you feel when you find out some shocking secret, that's been, kept a secret for over 3 decades. How old is Peter supposed to be? 40? Because they said he was born 1976, so he should be about 42. Um, I don't blame Robin for feeling the way she felt because she idolized her mother. She looked up to her mother. But when Anna was telling her the story, it's like, how could you just give up your child, even if it is by a man like Faison? How could you just give up your child and never look back for 40 years? How? And you had another child after that that you kept, that you loved. You know what I mean? How could you just not look back? Like, I would be pissed off too. And I kind of don't blame Peter for being pissed off. He didn't ask to be born. He didn't ask for Anna to be his mother. He didn't ask for Faison to be his father. He didn't ask, he didn't ask for any of that. But still, even though I feel bad for Peter on that note, it still doesn't negate everything that he's done since being an adult. It doesn't negate any of that. He still, caused a lot of drama. He partly is responsible, well, pretty much responsible for the death of his own half brother. Um, but I still feel bad for him on that point. You know, your mom just walking away from you, never thinking about you. I mean, even if she thought about him for 40 years, it's like you never look back. You never tried to find this boy because you just thought, oh, he was with a good family. Why didn't you keep tabs on him? You know, she did none of those things. It's like, you know, so I can't blame Robin for just needing time to think, you know, because it's a lot to process. It definitely is. Find out that you got some illegitimate half brother who, you know, whose daddy is a psychotic killer. It's like that's a lot to digest. But I feel like even with this storyline, I feel like it's gonna have a definite impact on Robin and Anna's relationship moving forward. It definitely is. Speaking of parent children relationships, Finn bumped into his daddy. He bumped into his dad. Apparently, his father transferred to, he got a good job or whatever in Berkeley. Apparently, he was supposed to be living in Boston, but he moved to Berkeley. Um, and Finn is, you know, I understand Finn's upset with his father because his father got remarried, basically got a new family. I get it. He's hurt. He's upset. I get it. But what pisses me off about Finn right now is the fact that he's trying to help other people through their problems. Like he went to, you know, he went to California with Anna to be a support system for her issues. And I remember he tried to help Alexis with her problems, but yet you're not handling your issues. You know what I mean? He keeps trying to run away from his problems. You know, him and his dad really need to have that conversation. And it's like his dad wanted to have that conversation with him, but Finn didn't want to. Finn talking about, no, now's not the right time. Oh, I don't have time for this right now. No, you need to make time for it because if not, you're just going to keep waddling in self pity. You're still going to be holding that grudge because you're not talking about it. And I feel like this issue has gone on way too long. It's been over 20 years. They need to hash this out because he's taking his issues out on his brother for something his father did, you know, and it's not fair to Chase. And it's definitely not fair to Finn himself because you're just going to keep beating yourself up over this issue. Like, yeah, his father was dead wrong for getting remarried right after his mom died, but we don't know the full story. I mean, did the mom and the dad have issues? Was he planning on filing for divorce before she died? We don't really know why he got remarried so quickly. We don't know the backstory on that. So I hope that Finn and his dad talk so we can find out everything, all the information. Because I feel like there's something missing from this puzzle. There's a piece missing from it, and we don't have all the facts. And you know, hopefully they can sit down and talk and get to the bottom of this because it's time for them to hash this out and figure this mess out. You know, do I think that they're ever going to have that father son relationship that they had back in the day? Probably not because it sounded like they were pretty close before his mom died and before his dad got remarried so fast. So it sounded like they were cool. But after that, that's when the problems hit. So hopefully they can hash this out and figure this mess out, you know, because it's like I hate when people hold on, even in real life. Like I just hate when people hold on to grudges from like 20 years ago, 30 years ago. You're gonna keep holding that grudge if you don't face it. If you don't face it, even if y'all can't come to some type of resolution, at least you sat down, get some type of closure. Because if you don't get no closure on this, it's gonna keep haunting you. It's gonna keep tugging at you if you don't get closure on it. So hopefully they do. I hope so. I pray that they do. Hopefully, because this is too much drama. Anyway, I really want to know, is Alexis the only attorney in town? Because she got everybody at her doorstep. Everybody. First, Sam coming to her door looking for a divorce. Nina coming to her door looking for a divorce. Kiki coming to her door. Everybody just coming to her door. Like, damn, y'all just making house calls. Um. So anyway, Nina was there about her divorce. Um. I feel like Nina doesn't legally. I feel like Nina doesn't need a lawyer for her divorce, and here's why I feel like she shouldn't need a lawyer because Nina. I've heard of people filing for divorce themselves. You know, just go down to the courthouse, fill out the paperwork, file the paperwork. You know, you could do all of that yourself. You know what I mean? You don't need a lawyer, and it ain't gonna cost you a whole lot of money to file the divorce. You know what I mean? In certain places, it costs like 40, $60 to file some legal papers. That's all it costs. Um, And the other part of why I feel like she doesn't need a lawyer is because her and Valentin don't have no assets together. They have no joint property together. Windermere is solely his. Um, she has, his money is his money, her money is her money. I'm pretty sure they got separate bank accounts, so they don't need to fight over property or marital assets or debts or bank accounts because they all got everything separate, I'm sure. Because she had her own money when she married him. He obviously had his own money when he married her, so there's no need to separate none because it was already separated. I doubt she wants any spousal support or anything from him. They don't have any children together. So this should be a plain, easy cut divorce, even though Valentine doesn't want the divorce. But still, it should be easy. You shouldn't even need a lawyer for this. You really shouldn't, because there's nothing to separate. The only thing that needs to be separated is the two of y'all. That's it. Money, assets, y'all already got everything in y'all own name, so there's nothing to separate. You don't need a lawyer. Um, but she also needed some legal advice about what Obrecht is doing, and should she report it? Could she go to jail if she don't report something or whatever? So she felt like she was off the hook for that. Obrecht was basically telling her ass, I don't care what lawyer you went to go see, um, you're still in trouble for aiding and abetting, which is true because he is a felon at this point. Um, But my whole thing about what Obrecht is doing is what is the end game to this? Like that's what I want to know. She wants a confession, but I'm like, what good is the confession gonna do when it's inadmissible in court? You can't use it because you got him all shackled up in a bed like this is Misery. For those of y'all who never seen that movie Misery, y'all have to go see Misery. Y'all have to see that movie. Just look it up on some movie site or whatever. Just look up Misery. Oh my God. When she had that man, I ain't even gonna tell y'all for those who didn't see it, but y'all gotta look it up. Look up Misery. Um, Such a funny, deranged movie. I watched that movie probably like 20, 30 times in my life. And I feel like watching it right after I do this video actually. Now that I think about it, it was such a crazy ass movie. Oh my goodness, yo, that movie was crazy. But anyway, so yeah, it's like what is the end game to this? I just want to know. Um, so anyway, Kiki is still going through this mess with Dr. Bench. She's trying to figure out what her next moves are going to be. What pissed me off with Elizabeth today was she wanted to tell Franco. I'm like, why? I mean, I can understand wanting to tell Franco, but it's like Franco doesn't need to be a part of every storyline. But I can understand his involvement in this because him and Kiki, he was like a father figure to her. So I can understand him wanting to know or he needed to know. But for right now, I feel like less people that know, it's a little better. But I am happy that Liz is supporting her through this. So Kiki basically went to go see Alexis about this. Dr. Bench sitting there telling her he had a phone call from HR or whatever. They were investigating him or looking into him because of her accusations, and he said that he cleared it up. He sent in her evaluation, talking about it was a glowing evaluation. He is such a sicko. Um, so of course Kiki went to Alexis to figure out this situation or whatever. She told Alexis she wanted to give her a heads up because Alexis is somewhat of a public figure. So, she did have somewhat of a relationship with him a few months ago. So Alexis was basically just asking her some background on it. She was like, do you have any proof? Um, just asking her the basic questions. My whole thing is I agree with Kiki. TJ had higher grades than her. And yet she was the one who got put into the shadow program. She got all this special treatment from Dr. Bench, but yet her grades didn't reflect the amount of, positions that she was getting. Her getting into the program, her grades didn't reflect any of that. TJ should have got all the programs and stuff like that she got. But obviously he gave her that special treatment because like he said himself, this was an investment. He basically gave her all this special treatment because he wanted some ass. That's obvious right off the bat. And that's what she told Alexis. That TJ got higher grades and she got all the glory when TJ should have got everything. Because he was the one excelling more in the programs and in the school more than she was, which is true. Um, So, hopefully, I guess I think at this point she's gonna file a civil suit against him at this point, which I hope she does. As far as her winning it, that might be a little bit of a long shot. I don't know if she can or if she will, but we shall see. Um, I think Alexis is definitely gonna help her out in this legal situation. She definitely will. But anyway, I think that's everything in this video. So hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's video. I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a great day. Hit that subscribe button. See y'all tomorrow. Peace. If I forgot anything, let me know. Peace.